Okay, it is Tuesday, and you know what that means. We are hitting chest, we are hitting triceps, and we're hitting hamstrings. Now, a lot of the times I like to forget about hamstrings once we're kind of deep into the workout. And then next thing you know, I'm like, damn, we still have hamstrings, and I'm like hella tired. But we're most likely gonna do 5 sets. That's around the sweet spot for us. I think anymore, usually my hamstrings will not recover on time. And if I said, I think I said triceps twice maybe, but now I can't remember. But we're gonna do triceps and hamstrings. But yeah, so we're gonna keep it at 5 sets for the hamstrings because if I start going a little bit above that, my hamstrings won't recover on time. And I've already tried that so many times, and they just don't recover. So we're usually hitting it 5 times per session. So usually around 10 sets a week, which is, I think, more than enough to do pretty good damage. And we've been seeing some steady growth, which has been pretty good. Which has been good. Now, I've been talking a little bit about me not liking sunscreen and how a lot of the sunscreens, they're just not my vibe. I can really feel them, and I don't know, I just don't like wearing them. And so our friend Lindsay put us on to some fire. I am not kidding with you guys. I tried this thing on, and it is like the best sunscreen that I've ever put on. I can hardly feel it, and as soon as I started putting it on my face, it just melted onto my face like perfectly, and it was awesome. It's a Nivea brand. Let me actually put it right here so you guys can take a look at it. But if you're someone like me who doesn't like the feeling of sunscreen, or you're kind of bad at it because of the feeling that it gives you, try this one out. This one's fire. Shout out to Lindsay for putting us on, because we're going to be using this every single day now, because it is, there's no reason not to, there's no real excuse anymore, because it's kind of like a gel type of consistency, so it's perfect. I guess the consistency I can kind of relate it to would be similar to, what is it called? I think it's the Neutrogena gel. It's kind of like a blue bottle with like a white cap, or maybe vice versa. That's kind of like the nearest thing I can compare it to in terms of the consistency, but it's awesome. Try it out. Let me know what you think. It took a little bit. I ordered it through Amazon. I think it took maybe a few days, but it wasn't too bad. It was worth the wait for sure. Now, maybe I can find the exact same thing, but for the body, because I also need to wear on my arms, and everything, and sometimes on my legs when I'm wearing shorts. So we're gonna be finding maybe a body one that's similar in the same consistency, because that's gonna be fire. That is gonna be fire. Today we're gonna be doing most likely 7 sets of chest. That's most likely we're gonna end up doing. That's really the sweet spot. You don't really need more than that if your intensity is pretty high. And then I'm thinking we're also going to do maybe 7 to 8 sets of triceps. It just really depends on how we're feeling, or if we need to do maybe an extra set. But we typically keep it around the 6 to 7 range, and I think that's pretty good. And a lot of the times, and I throw in these ranges and everything, because a lot of this stuff is kind of like range based, because I don't want to just tell you guys do 7 and that's going to get you gains. Because what if 7 for me is close to failure or almost failure, but 7 for you, you still got 5 more in you, right? You're stronger. A lot of the times when it comes to strength is relative. So when you're taking a look at like super super strong people, some of them are just going to be stronger than you. That's just what it is. So when it comes to a certain weight, just pick a weight that you're able to control, but that's also pretty heavy for you, and just progress from there, because that is the most important thing. Don't just start throwing it super super heavy weight and then expect to grow with your like ego lifting. I think ego lifting is one of the hardest thing for me to drop, because it is hard to, like, not go in there and want to pick up a heavy weight, because then, it feels sick. You feel super pumped and everything. The pre's got you going and everything. So I don't blame folks for going in there and wanting to have fun, because picking up heavy weight and trying something you never tried before, and like going for PRs is pretty fun. Don't get me wrong, but a lot of the times with the goals that we have and everything, when it comes to bodybuilding specifically, going in there and most likely getting hurt is should not be part of the program, just because you want to make sure you're not out, and then next thing you know, you can't really work out anything. So just be careful when you're working out, and try not to ego lift, and try to go for weight that you can for sure take through the full range of motion for at least a solid 4 through 7. I would say even 8 is a solid number, but like I mentioned, it's a little bit of a range. It's a little bit of a range. Now we're catching a little bit of traffic right now, nothing too crazy. Hopefully once we get to the gym, it's not too packed. I'm thinking we're gonna start off with a Smith machine. That has been pretty good. I did mention I was going to focus primarily on the Smith machine because it stabilizes you so much more, and I can really put some emphasis on my chest. So I think that's what we're gonna be starting off with, and then we're gonna be mixing up the flies a little bit, and we're gonna be doing pec deck, but with that little bench, or that little attachment that we like to use for the benches. Is this little attachment, and it gives us maybe like 2 extra inches or 3 of range of motion. So it gives you a really, really good stretch with whatever movement you're doing. And so I like to include it with my chest exercises. So I like to put it behind me when I'm doing any kind of like pec deck or any kind of press or whatever, because it gives me a really, really good stretch. And that's what we're looking for. That is what we're looking for. I was so busy this weekend, and because it was Mother's Day and everything, I was just so out of it. Everything was just super packed, and so I completely forgot about The Last of Us until Jasmine reminded me earlier, right before I got to the gym. Or not right before I got to the gym, right before I was gonna leave to the gym. She was like, "Hey, should we watch The Last of Us?" Um, just kind of having the background, just watch it and stuff. And it was super close to the time while I was leaving. I was like, oh my God, I forgot that it was coming out. So once we get out today, the first thing we're gonna do is enjoy a really good meal. We're actually gonna be making this Indian style chicken with basmati rice, and yeah, we're just gonna end up doing it. I'll see if I can actually show you guys what it looks like, how it came out. But I'm pretty excited. We get to mix it in with, it's kind of like a paste, and you mix it in with some yogurt, and I think it's gonna be fire. It is going to be fire. We already have some quick some quick to make rice already. It kind of comes in some pre-made cups. You throw them in the microwave. The basmati is already ready, and so you can just eat it. So we're gonna have a serving and a half of that. Super excited after the gym, and we're gonna have some oikos. I'm gonna also keep mentioning oikos because, man, guys, I am not kidding when I tell you that oikos is like a cheat code for gains, because the macros are insane, and it gives you so much protein, man. It's awesome. It goes so well with everything. I throw it in with my true fruits that I've been eating. And you can get a variety. You can buy the variety from like Safeway or Target, or if you have a Sam's Club maybe and a Costco, they'll have maybe just one variety. So if you want to mix it up, you'll have to go and get a bit of the smaller bags from like smaller stores like Safeway and Target, as opposed to, let's say, getting a really big bag from Costco. I honestly wish Costco had a way more variety when it came to some of their things, because a lot of these brands have so many other different flavors that I want to try for like different things like Premier Protein, to sometimes even like the meats. Sometimes the already made meats that same brand makes different other ready to eat food. And so I want to try some of that stuff out, but they don't have it at Costco. They only have certain ones. So I wish they would kind of like maybe cycle a little bit more often. That way, but also keep like prime stuff like oikos and things like that. But maybe I'm asking for too much. I don't know. Maybe it's just a personal problem. But until then, we we're running a little bit out of luck recently, and it kind of happens, and I feel like it happens during the summer. That's something that's a bit of a pattern. Once it starts getting closer to the summer, I start noticing that the oikos start to run out way faster at at Costco. Yesterday we went just to kind of get it over with, and so we got everything that we needed except for oikos. They literally completely ran out. So people for sure are getting on them. I'm glad that people are already getting on them because they are fire. But it's just making it a little bit more complicated for us because now I'm having a hard time finding them at Costco, and so I'll have to buy them from Safeway or Target, and then so just a little bit more expensive than I would like it to be. I would rather buy it in a bulk like I would in Costco. Anyways, let's switch over to the first exercise. Hopefully, cross your fingers for us that we start off with some Smith machine. If not, I think we're just gonna end up doing some dumbbells. I think that'll be pretty good. I think that'll be pretty good. I will see you guys at the gym. So these are 1.25. I think if I end up putting the 2.1, the 2.5, man, I don't know if I'm gonna get like 5 or 6 to be honest, just because the 25 already feels fucking heavy for me. So I just want to make sure I'm getting at least a solid 4. So let's add this. Let's drop down to 20s. So I almost tripped on my shoes. Let me put my shoelaces real quick. So for a second set, he ended up dropping down to 20s. I'm gonna retire these and I'm gonna put on the wrist wraps just to protect a little bit of our wrist throughout the movement. I need to remind myself to put these in the right order because I keep putting one backwards and then I have to twist it around. And it's not the most ideal support because then it's not attached to the actual Velcro. So all right, let's go. We get a solid 6, 7. Okay, I'm gonna pause it then. Man, that was good though. That felt nice. Oh man, I'm gonna take maybe 10, 15 seconds, and then we'll start. That's good. I need to buy some fucking chalk. This thing is way too slippery. You see it like my hands start going to the sides, and it becomes hella hard to do it. So not the most ideal conditions. Let's uh let's move over to some presses now. I think 2 of these is good enough. I couldn't find that extender that we typically use, so we're gonna just do it this way. We're gonna stay here for 2, and then we either do some cable flies or we do the peg take. One of them should work. All right. I'm gonna just show you guys the first set. Put it down. One more. That was good. I think I'll see you guys for some picnic now. I'm gonna save for one more. We're drink some water. Fucking thirsty. I'm gonna give you guys a bit of a close up. Plus, we're about to use this peg they got. All right, let's do. I was gonna record it, but I figured why not. Use these ones for this side just to protect my wrist a little bit. Someone's going in on that on the cardio machines. How much offset that? Fuck. Oh shit. Let's do some back day now. Okay. Let's go ahead. And let's finish off chest. I think I'm just gonna record the first one, but I'm gonna save it for two. We ended up doing, what was it? 2 sets of incline Smith machine, 2 sets of that press over here. And I think we're gonna save it for either 2 or 3. We'll see how I'm feeling. I'm thinking most likely 2 solid ones or maybe 3. Just because I only did 2 of the Smith machine press and 2 of these. Just 2 to make it 7. I think I'll be fine. All right. Let's see how this goes. We couldn't find the seat, so what I'm gonna just try to do is just get a crazy fucking stretch and just do it that way. Sometimes I can't be finding those little seat extenders. They be going missing. I think we can do 2 more just like that. I'll see you guys for some triceps. Okay. I think we're gonna start off with some type of crossbodies. What I'll do actually is maybe set this just a tiny bit closer. What I usually like to do is almost kind of kneeling forward a little bit, get a really, really good stretch, and then just pull all the way down. And I get the craziest tension. And I think these, as a good primer, will set us up for some of those heavy sets. Because I feel like if I don't prime my elbow enough, I'm gonna start getting like a bunch of elbow pain towards the end of my workout, and then I really don't want to deal with that. So we're gonna start off with this, warm up our elbows a little bit, prime up our triceps, and that way, once we're doing something a little bit heavier, less likely to get injured. Let's see how this goes. I think I saw with some 20s. Look how 20 feels today. Sometimes it feels fucking heavy, which is a little bit unfortunate. There we go. You know what's the funniest thing? Uh, so some of these machines don't have the. No wonder my left hand felt like lighter. I was doing 17 on my left, on my right, and I was doing something else on my left. Let me move the camera over here. Sorry about that. But let's try. I think we're gonna have to do a single arm just because I messed up a little bit on that one. Let's do our left hand first, and then we'll move on to our right hand. I think that'll be pretty good. All right, let's see. And then we'll do it normal once we get to it. All right. All right, let's get on this. For the second one, I'm gonna do 17. Man, it really threw me off when I was doing 20 on my right and then 17 on my left. So I think on this next one, I'll just be a little bit more careful. And I think we're gonna do either 13 or 17. I think 17 should be good. And then I think we're gonna move over to some. I think some push downs should be pretty good. I'll grab that new bar that we have at the gym, and that'll be pretty good. Okay. All right. Let's do some tricep push downs now. We're gonna do 57. I'm gonna see you for maybe. I'm thinking either 2 or 3, and then 2 or 3, or vice versa with the overheads. We'll see what we end up doing. Sometimes I change my mind and I end up doing 3 overheads, or sometimes I decide to do 3 push downs. I don't think it really matters sometimes. It's kind of just personal preference. But let's go hard on this first one at least. All right, we're gonna listen to some Schoolboy Q. Okay, that was pretty good. I think my parents might have gotten me sick because my mom was sick when I went to go meet up with her on Saturday, and I'm slightly starting to feel just the tiniest bit sick. It's a little bit unfortunate, but hopefully it goes away by tomorrow. But I started feeling it midday today, and we're gonna sit here for, I'm thinking 3. That felt pretty good. I think I'm just gonna record 2, and then we're gonna do 2 overhead. All right, I'll see you guys on the next one. Let's do the second set. I think we're gonna stick to the same thing, which is 57. And I think for the last one, I'll do 53. And that should be pretty good. Let me bring this just a tiny bit lower. Too high. There we go. Perfect. Okay. Let me make sure this thing's on me. All right, let's do it. Ah, one more. Come on. Okay. We're for sure dropping down on the third one to 53. But that was pretty good. I'll see you guys for some overhead. Okay. So I decided to do some single arm. I think that'll be pretty good. We'll start off with our left and then just match our right with our left. I think we're just gonna save for 2. Should be pretty good. Let's put some music. Four. Okay. Let's drop side a little bit. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. I think to finish off faster, what we're gonna do for the last one is do it with the bar that we use for our push downs. I think that'll be good. We can also stack a lot more weight with that one. Okay. I'm gonna take maybe like 20 more seconds and then we'll finish this up. I see a seated curl machine that's calling our name. I'll probably just record the first set of that and then maybe the first set of RDLs. But we're gonna do a total of 5 sets for that one. All right, let's do this. I need a 53. Yeah, I think my mom they get me sick. It's a little bit unfortunate because we'll see how I'm feeling tomorrow, whether I come to the gym or not. One more. Okay, that's good. Let's go to some RDLs. RDL seated curls. Let's do our first set of these. I'm just gonna show you guys the first one, but I'm saving for 3. Let's see how this goes. We're gonna do 200. We usually do 205, maybe 210, but I'm feeling just a tiny bit sick today. I don't know. My my throat feels a little bit raspy, and I feel a little congested. So we'll see if we end up being sick tomorrow. Hopefully not. Maybe it just passes away today while we're sleeping. That's what I'm hoping. I don't think today's my day. We're gonna make the best out of it. Let's save for 2 more. I'll see you guys for some RDLs up next. Let's finish this off. I think I'm just gonna show you guys the first set, but I'm gonna see you for 2. And then the next clip you guys are gonna get is the pose down. See how it's looking. We're gonna take the 90s, try to get at least a solid 7-8. We'll see how it goes. Guys, one more. Okay. Let's see what kind of damage we did today. We got lucky. And when we got here, there wasn't that many people. So we kind of got a free selection of everything. We didn't really have to wait for much. And those days are typically the best because you don't really have to worry about anything. You just kind of just go boom, boom, boom throughout your whole workout. It even goes by faster, which is nice. I always prefer those days. It's a lot better. Let's change some of this, the focus a little bit. I think that'll be solid. All right. Let's see what kind of damage we did. Okay. Let's get one more. Let me fix the tank top a little bit. Man, I'm so out of breath. I need to keep practicing my front lat spread because I forgot how to do it. I don't know how to do it anymore. It's like I completely forgot. I don't know why. So I have to practice it a little bit more. No, see? I don't know how to do it. Okay. That's enough. Let's go home and eat now. We have some type of Indian style chicken that's waiting for us, so I'm pretty excited. Man, I think I am gonna get sick, so let's see what ends up happening in the next few days, but I'm already getting a bit of a sore throat. Hopefully by tomorrow it goes away, but maybe we should sweat it out today. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if we even have energy to even get up, to even come to the gym. Because when we're sick, we get hella sick. But I don't even often get sick. But when it hits me, man, I'm out for like at least a solid week. I'm like, I can't do anything. So hopefully we get lucky and we don't get sick. But if we're good to go, I'll see you guys tomorrow for some back and some shoulders. Remember, don't skip your cardio. Stay consistent. I'll see you guys in the next video.